What's up, guys? Welcome to another stupid rushed episode. It's stupid windy and I came out at the very last second. I was just messing around on my computer. It's like 20 minutes till sunset. These clouds and this light are amazing. So I came out here largely not for this. I'm gonna throw my 35 mil on my R6. Yeah, I'm gonna get that for a time lapse while I take out my other newest happiness lens. And if you guys know me and you know my channel, then you probably know what lens I'm talking about. Well, I guess you probably know by the title maybe. I don't know what the title's gonna be yet. Could be something to do with this. This is my new 100 to 500. Interesting story about getting that, because a lot of people keep asking me. I'll tell you in a second when I'm not so frantic. What's the #1 leading cause of missed epic landscape photography shots? This right here. Being super frantic. You hear that wind? Holy cow. My favorite little historical marker building, this building, is blocking my wind right now. And if I was out there, it's like 60-mile-an-hour gusts. It's ridiculous. But I need to go put this out there, so hold on a second. Wow. I can't believe I got that set up in time. R6, 35 mil, f8, aperture priority, time lapse. So now, I know there's been a lot of talk lately about like articles and videos being put out about, you know, everyone needs a 1 to 400 and it's everybody's favorite focal length. This is kind of one of those videos, but in my defense, I've made a lot of them and I've been using the 1 to 400 for like 10 years now. It's always been my favorite lens. So, I mean, and this is 500, so I've got a little extra reach. So I'm gonna try to grab a few shots. I have to go to Albuquerque tomorrow, which is like 4 hours from here, from where I live, so I can get my vaccine. The VA messaged me and said that all veterans in New Mexico are now eligible, and told me I could come up tomorrow and get one. 4 hours away, but totally worth it. So I wasn't even thinking about doing a video until just now when the light started getting really good. So I'm just gonna hand hold these shots. I'm gonna take my lens hood off so it doesn't blow around. I don't have to worry about flare because the sun's not out. All the light's just going down. All right. I'm gonna try for that peak right there. I'm hoping this stuff will light up a little bit more. The light on these peaks are looking epic. I wish I had one more camera to set up for a time lapse, but I chose to make a video for you guys instead. But still, I think just with this, being able to pick off closer, you know, mountain type stuff, detail, that's what makes me happy, is having a wide going and then having the longer to pick off those details. That's really, I mean, because if I'm not doing a time lapse, even when I do time lapses, I use long lenses a lot, but if I'm not doing a time lapse, like I would say more than like 97.6%, that's a pretty random percentage, but more than 97.6% of my images, I feel confident that I take with the 1 to 500 for landscape stuff. And you should never overlook the power of long lenses and intimate stuff, especially in a place like this. It's great because the mountains are kind of far away, and you do a wider shot for here and it just doesn't look good because you lose the mountains. They get so small in the frame. That peak right there is looking good. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. So that's at 100, and for a time lapse, that would have been a good crop. Yeah, I think some of this stuff is gonna light up. I'm very excited. I guess you can't really see that because it's overexposed on here since I'm in the shade. But I'm also so grateful that La Capilla is right here. La Capilla is that little, well, technically it's Spanish for little church. It's blocking my wind right now. I've been seeing trash cans and all kinds of stuff flying around all over town today. Oh man, that's perfect right there. I like that. Just a little bit of that mountain is lit up, and then there's dark clouds above it, shadow below it, some nice layers. So that's the other thing about when you're picking off, especially like mountain stuff, the longer your focal length, the more quickly things move in it. Relativity, you know, you have that focal length, the faster things are moving in it, in this case clouds. So I recommend taking lots of pictures. Don't just snap one and then be like, oh, I got the shot, because it's gonna keep changing so fast. And you never know when you're just gonna get the clouds and the light and everything just the way you want it. This is looking good. I love this kind of light. I love it when it's cold and there's enough wind to keep these clouds moving. Makes for a lot of good opportunities. Another thing I really like doing with the 100 to 500 now with the long lenses is I really love panos with long lenses. So, you know, even if you're just doing it handheld, you're gonna get much more detailed shots even if you end up cropping in and stuff, you know. And I love doing panos. Pro tip for panos, especially handheld: take it off of high burst mode. I was birding earlier this morning. Another pro tip for handheld panos: go wider than you think on both sides. That way, especially when you're doing handheld, that way it's gonna, when it stitches and everything and auto aligns, it's gonna crop in just a little bit, and then that'll give you room to frame it up. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. See, that's what I was telling you about the light changing. Look at that. So in this case, I'm just gonna shoot wider than I need. I'm gonna shoot at 100, and then I'll crop in. I'm on the R5, so I'm not really worried about some minimal crops. But that stuff is looking great. And a pano in this case will help, or a pano like crop even, will help, because in this case I don't want the city or the houses, I don't want those in the frame very much. So cropping to either doing a pano or faking the pano with the crop will eliminate that, and then really make me focus your attention on the light over the mountains, which is what I want. Man, that looks gorgeous. I'm gonna check my R6 and see how it's doing. It's looking pretty good. 35 is still so wide right there. All right, I'm gonna stop this so I can get a quick time lapse with this, because that light is just looking too good. I'll see you in a second. All right, got the time lapse going, 1 to 500. I've got it at, looks like about 140 mil. f5.6 aperture priority mode. Just letting it go, getting a little tighter on those clouds. That mountain, absolutely gorgeous. I don't know if I said it, but I'll say it again. I am so thankful for this building right here. It's protecting me from the insane wind. That is just ridiculous. And now I wish I had another R5 and another 1 to 500, because my other favorite subject, the kneeling nun over there, is lighting up. It's another really famous landmark around in this area. I've shot it a million times. But I'm happy with this. I'm gonna let this finish up and I'll see you in a second. All right, I stopped the time lapse. I think I got what I needed. Now we're getting into blue hour, and we've got the belt of Venus, which is that real dark looking shadowy blue under the pink that you see on the horizon. That's the Earth's shadow. And the belt of Venus in blue hour can look really pretty. I've got this at a couple different focal lengths here. Just zooming it back out, I'm at 135 right now on the tripod, a 15th of a second shutter. ISO 100. So I turned the tap to touch thing that way, and a 2-second timer. That way we can get rid of a little shake, and we'll see how well it does. Turn your image stabilization off when you're doing long exposures, even with a long lens like this on the tripod, because the image stabilization can sometimes overcorrect, and that can make a little bit of jitters in your shot. So we're starting to lose that color now, but the lights are coming on, so I'm going to let that 35 time lapse go until the lights come on, so I can do one of my favorite long exposure blends, and if I get anything, I'll definitely post it for you guys. The college lights are coming on too. All right, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here though. I'm gonna wait and see if I can finish up this time lapse, get the rest of it. I'm hand holding this RP right now, so my little chicken arms are gonna die out here pretty soon. But I will be, this is my very first time out landscape photography with the 1-500. I have been doing a lot of wildlife with it, obviously, but I will be doing a lot more just in general landscaping and stuff like that, landscape photography with it. And I've got some really cool trips coming up here. Like I said, I'm going to Albuquerque tomorrow to get my vaccine. So I will be testing it out and breaking it in and doing a lot more videos with it, about it, for it, all that kind of stuff. And once I have a good amount of stuff under my belt with it, then I will definitely make a full review on it. I'm also going to be comparing it to the RF 800 and for wildlife and stuff, and I'll be comparing it natively and with the teleconverter, the RF 1.4 teleconverter. Oh, I had to switch hands. It's killing me. So yeah, that stuff will be coming up here within probably the month or so. I don't like to rush my reviews because you guys know I'm not a review channel. Even though I do reviews, I do them on the things that I use, the things that I love, the things that I know. So I have to use this, I have to love it, and I have to know it before I give you my full thoughts. But in the meantime, there will definitely be videos like this where I'm out and about using it, and you'll get the snippets of how much I love it. And if you haven't picked that up already, it's my favorite lens ever, so. All right, it's dinner time. It's really surprisingly cold out. Whoa, bird. All right, I'm getting distracted. It's dinner time. I will see you in the next episode. If you have questions, comments about the 1-5 or anything I did concerning the time lapses, anything like that, leave those in the comments below, and you know I'll definitely answer them. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.